my kitchen. Hey, scenario. You got some friends coming over. You're gonna have a little gathering. You want some appetizers, a few things to nosh on. What are you gonna do? I know what a lot of you are gonna do. You're gonna buy one of those little plastic tubs of hummus, right? Don't buy those things. We're gonna make some hummus. It's simple. It's one of the great foods. It's super nutritious. I got about a cup of chickpeas here, dried chickpeas. Okay? I'm gonna cover them with cold water. This show actually starts tomorrow, okay? I'm gonna soak these overnight. The other thing I'm gonna do tonight, episode 002. Anyway, it's called Start Me Up. I'm gonna feed my sourdough starter tonight. Okay, so it's nice and lively in the morning, because what's hummus without some beautiful sourdough pita bread? So this is the evening intro, and then I'll see you tomorrow to put all this together. So tonight, the night before, soaking my chickpeas, feeding my starter. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, gang, here we are the next morning. Check it out. My chickpeas have practically doubled. All right. My starter is bubbling. This one almost doubled too. I love the smell of sourdough starter in the morning. All right, so let's get started with the chickpeas. This is going to take a while. I just drained them off, put them in my sauce pot, cover them with about 1 inch of water. And I'm going to bring them to a boil, and then I'm going to let them simmer till they're nice and soft. And here's a little quick tip. Just add a little bit of baking soda. I don't know, a teaspoon or so. It helps soften the skins. If you like that nice creamy hummus, which I prefer. I know people who like the chunky, they like to leave it more chunky. That's fine. I like it silky and smooth. Alright, over here in the bowl of my trusty stand mixer, I'm going to add my starter. Fed last night, nice and active. 224 grams. And then, of course, it'll be up for another feeding. 2.5 years old, this starter. February 19. I started it. Just gets better with time. Alright, warm water, just warm to the touch. 240 ml. Here we go. 243. Okay, we had a little bit of extra starter. This is another staple in my house. King Arthur, 12.7% protein bread flour. I know, flour's bad, flour's evil. So's whiskey, and I like that too. Now, all told, we're going to use 385 grams of this bread flour. But for this first step, we're going to add 210 grams. 209, now remember, we went over just by a gram or 2 or 3 on the others. So there you go, 213. One of my favorite tools in the kitchen. The Danish wire whisk. I love this thing. We're going to do a, you know, we have quick tips, right? I got another show I wanted to do called Gadgets and Gear. I'll get around to it. This might be the first episode. This Danish bread whisk. Just mix it up. You just want that flour to absorb that water. And we're going to cover this and let it sit for an hour. Absorb all that water. Okay, look how nice and fluffy and bubbly they are. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to tablespoon of sugar. It's bubbling like lava in there. 2 tablespoons olive oil. 1½ teaspoons of salt. Gonna get this on the mixer. Start that on a slow mix. And now I'm going to start adding my remaining flour. And I'm going to knead this up for a good 5-8 minutes until it comes off that bowl. It gets nice and elastic. Okay. It was about, I don't know, anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. Not really keeping track of time as much as watching the dough. Okay, it's off the bottom. I got just a touch of flour on the marble board here. Give it a few stretches, and then I got my bowl here with some extra virgin olive oil in there. Just grease it up. Take this dough, give it a few stretches. Get it in our bowl. Get some oil on it. And I'm going to cover that and let that sit for a good couple of hours. That could go in the fridge for 24 hours. That could go in the fridge for 5 days. It's the beauty of the sourdough starter. It wants to work real slow and pull out flavor. But I'm going to leave it on a warm counter, oh, probably 3 hours or so. And we'll have a look at it then. I think it's time to go out and start playing with some sticks. Make ourselves a fire. Okay, we're out here in CMK. Got a nice hot fire going here. Got my stone heating up. We're going to do our pitas on here. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for that stone to get hot, I got a nice mixture here of seasoned woods. There's apple, hickory, lilac. Look at all that smoke. So we're going to take this beauty, nice little purple eggplant, take my knife, right? Let's put that baby right on here. Fire's nice and hot. And we're just going to let that baby get nice and soft, get that smoke inside those holes. As long as we're making fresh pita and hummus, I can still remember the first time I tasted baba ganoush. I had no idea what it was. I was living on McDougal Street, down in, as Bob Dylan would have said, Greenwich Village. And there was a little place down the corner on McDougal towards Bleecker. Can't remember the name of it. I'm talking the late 70s now. And they had a little... You know, we were broke, man. We were art students. We had no money, so you had to seek out the best deals in town. I remember Mamoon's Falafel. A falafel and a Heineken for $1.75. That was a frequent stop. But this particular place had an appetizer special platter. I think it was like $4. And you got hummus, you got baba ganoush, you got some pita. It was incredible. I didn't know it was eggplant. All I knew, I was tasting something I never tasted before, and I liked it. So let's let that eggplant do what it wants to do. Stones are getting hot. And then we'll bring out that pita bread. All right, check out this beautiful dough. That thing's doubled on the counter here. It's been, oh, I don't know, 4 hours, maybe 5. Let's throw it out on the counter. Be gentle. It's got a lot of air in it. Now we're going to do a couple of stretch and folds. Fold it like an envelope. Pull one side, put it over. Trying to redistribute the air inside this dough without beating it up too much. You want to keep it still light and fluffy. Ball it up again. Back in the bowl. I'll do that same thing in a half hour, same thing in another half hour, and by then, dough should be ready. So let's cover it back up. Now let's go out to Caveman Kitchen while this is resting. Alright, check out our eggplant. I sandwiched it between those two stones for two reasons. Get those nice flames licking up from the center. Got some killer smoke getting inside that thing. But also, by doing that, our stone is getting blazing hot, which we want to do those pitas. That's getting pretty soft inside. I think it's about done. What we can do is, like with the roasted peppers, I'll put it inside a bag or a Tupperware and let it steam itself out. And that skin will come right off. Okay, this baby is charred and done. Look, it's bubbling. Those juices, those oils are coming out of it. Let's put it in our container. Get the cover on. And just let that sit and steam, just like our roasted peppers. And now, back to the fire. These stones are hot. I'll put them back together. Give it a nice little cleanup. And now what I did with that dough, while the fire was heating up for the eggplant and stuff, I did 2 more stretch and folds. While you guys weren't looking. You don't need to see that. You saw me do it once. I did it twice more, about every 20 minutes or half hour. If you had to watch me do that every time, it'd be like the scrolling background in a Ren and Stimpy cartoon. You'd just be saying the same thing go by again. I cut it into 8 rounds, 8 pieces, roughly equal. And now I'm going to make my pitas. It's almost like a nice pizza dough, man. Alright, let's throw that baby on the stone. That's what we're looking for. You see those bubbles popping up? While that one's on, I'll start flattening out another one. Move it around a little. There's different hot spots in the stone. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Pita bread. Yeah. Getting nice and puffy. All right, finito. Done. Get a load of these pitas, man. Full disclosure, I already nicked a piece. As I've said before, you must maintain a reasonable quality control regimen. Oh man. Sourdough. Cooked on that hot stone with the smoke from lilac, hickory, maple, little apple wood. It's incredible. Let's bring these inside with the eggplant. Alright, I'm super psyched on those pitas. That smoke on them and the eggplant, forget about it. But I told you this was going to be an interval type show, so after I cooked that stuff, I had smoke in my hair. I've been sweating out in the yard all day, moving around wood chips with the wheelbarrow. So I just got out of a hot shower with a cold rinse. Feeling good, ready to cook. Mix myself up a little scotch and soda as a reward for all the yard work. Oh, and I cleaned out the garage today. That's a big one in my book. Let's go see what we have for these recipes. Okay, hummus and baba ganoush. Now the beauty of this is, these basically share the same ingredients for the most part. We got our chickpeas that we soaked overnight and then cooked. They're real soft, nice and soft. A little flat parsley, I chopped some up to save us time. A couple of garlic cloves, chopped them up. My food processor that everybody makes fun of me because it's from like 1980, my mom gave it to me. Hey, it still works. Tahini, got a couple of lemons. This one generously donated some rind to my scotch and soda. Some nice Italian sea salt. Extra virgin olive oil. A little cumin. And let's start with the hummus because we want to do this. We want to let this rest for a couple minutes. So I'm going to start with 1 lemon juice, right? You might want a little more, but I'm just going to start with 1. Put some of the garlic, chopped up nice and fine. Save some for the baba ganoush. We got more chickpeas than we do eggplant, so I'll go about 2/3 to 1/3. And a little of this salt, just a pinch. Okay, that's it. Garlic, the lemon juice and the salt. Now what we did is we hacked up that garlic nice and fine in the lemon juice, so we're just going to let that sit and that garlic will mellow down a little. So now we can go on to the, I don't know, like 10 minutes. So now we can go on to the baba. All right, get a load of this eggplant that we had over that wood fire. Perfectly roasted. You can smell the smoke. I can smell it from up here. So what I did is I put it in this strainer because we wanted to get some of those oils out. Dry it up as much as you can. We'll put it right in the bowl we're going to serve it in. Okay? A little garlic. A pinch of salt. Start with a half a lemon. In fact, I may not even put the entire half's juice in. Let's see, because that's not a lot of eggplant. Just start with a little squeeze like that. I'm going to crack a little black pepper in there. And then I'm just going to take my fork and start almost like whisking it up. Smash it. Alright, it's a little solid, so I'll put a little more lemon juice. It's nice and dry. Almost just like whip it with the fork. Man, I can smell that smoke from up here. This is going to be incredible. I got to do a check-in before I add everything else. Perfect amount of lemon. Hit it with just another pinch of garlic. A little tiny touch of salt. Whip that up. Now I'm going to add a little bit of my tahini. Some people do baba without the tahini. I love the stuff. Sesame seeds. Add some of this chopped parsley. And by the way, I meant to mention this before. When that eggplant came off that fire, and then we put it in the plastic, just like we did with the roasted peppers, man, that black charred skin just came right off. Piece of cake. And I'm just going to put in each of these the tiniest dash of cumin. Just a hint. You could even put fresh mint in this, but I think I'm going to go with this as is with the parsley. Oh yeah, with those pita? Come on. Let's just let this sit now and get used to itself. That brings us back to the hummus. This is rested for a little while. So now we're going to go with our tahini. Alright, tahini, look how nice and smooth and creamy that's getting. So now, that's just the tahini with the lemon juice, garlic, and salt that had rested. Now I want to put it on, and I'm going to drizzle in just a little bit of ice water. I don't know, a tablespoon or two. That helps cream it up real nice. Look at that. Scrape that down a little, and now we can go with just a touch of our cumin. And let's put in, not all, let's try about 2/3, 3/4 of our chickpeas. Beautiful. I'm going to go with the rest of them. It can handle them. Pinch of salt, now that I tasted it. Crack just a hint of pepper in there. And just another couple of grains of the cumin. So it's almost exactly the same as the baba. I'm not going to put the parsley in here. I'm going to put parsley on top when I eat it. Try to get that final cream. I'm just going to go with a touch more of the ice water. Look what that water does. Check that out. Hold on, I got to get a clean spoon. It's like a cloud from heaven. So creamy. Only thing left now is plate this stuff up and start eating. Okay, here's our hummus on the left, our baba ganoush on the right. Here's how I like to finish these things. A little extra virgin olive oil. Just a drizzle on each one. Again, I'm going to do them identical. A little bit of paprika. More of that flat leaf parsley next to the hummus. I'll put one of these. I think we're going to bring this to the patio. Let's head outside. Alright, it turned into a beautiful evening. 79 degrees, low humidity. Perfect for outside. I got my baba ganoush, smoky eggplant over that wood fire, a dried chickpea hummus, and a sourdough crispy pita chips, little carrot and celery. Of course, we got the supervisor here. Alright, toughest part about this combo for me is what to go for first. I think I'm going to nab one of these sourdough pita chips. Nice and crispy from the cast iron. Cooked over that same wood fire as this eggplant. And I'm going to try this baba ganoush with the pita. I'm on McDougal Street. That's freaking unbelievable. Let me try this hummus. Start with a piece of carrot. Got the olive oil drizzled on it. Paprika, a little parsley. It's so creamy, man. And that, I'm telling you, you don't want to overdo the garlic in these dishes. You want it just kind of like sliding through, not kicking you in the back of the head. This is unbelievable. All right, thanks for coming to my kitchen. We'll catch you for the next episode. Sourdough pitas, crisped up on the cast iron. Mmm.